All right, Truth Seekers. I hope you're sitting down because I got a bombshell for y'all. I was recently doing a little digging into Biotechnica. Came to my attention that they might have been doing something untoward. Big surprise, right? We got our hands on some information that Biotechnica is working on a drug called Lucidate. Now, they're calling it a productivity, a focus enhancer, that sort of thing, and maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. What I do know is that they're lying when they say that. They're using this drug as some sort of mind control. That's right, you heard it here. Biotechnica is working on a mind control drug. And it's not just theoretical at this point. I've seen video, and I'll tell you, Seekers, be thankful that I saw this for you, that you didn't have to watch it, because it turned my stomach. And you know I've seen some pretty gnarly things over the years, so that's saying something. I watched Michelle Jacquet. She's an executive VP of special projects over at Biotechnica. I watched her administer this drug, this mind control drug, to a test subject. Not just any test subject, mind. This was an officer of the NCPD. Now, y'all know I got plenty of problems with them, but nobody deserves to be an unwilling drug test candidate. Simple as. What they did is they gave this man this drug. And then they told him to hurt himself, and he did. And I'll tell you, Seekers, that was hard to watch, but that wasn't the end of it. It got worse. Michelle Jacquet herself walked into that room and told that officer to walk out into the middle of the street and open fire. He did. He took his sidearm out and he walked out into the street, and that's where the video stopped. But if that's not enough to scare you shitless, Seekers, I don't know what is. But it gets even worse than this. They're not just testing this mind control drug on NCPD officers and people in the company. No. They're testing it on your friends, your neighbors. They might even be testing it on you, and you wouldn't know it. That's right. They're putting this drug out in the streets. They've got some ripper doc working for the bozos, putting explosives in people's heads so that they can go and, whenever Biotechnica wants them to, just blow these people up. Deniable operations, they call it. And they're doing it right here in this city. And it gets even worse. I know, it's hard to believe, Seekers. It's hard to believe, but it gets worse. These scumbags, Biotechnica, Isabella Song, Michelle Jacquet, and Mary Gale, those are the three names, keep coming up in all this paperwork. More on that later, though, because it does get a little interesting. But these bastards at Biotechnica, they're not just testing it on cops and people who sign up for it. No. They're testing this on your friends and your neighbors. They're trying to manufacture a conflict right now between the kill crashers and the zoners. That's right. You've seen them button heads lately? That's Biotechnica's fault. They're out there feeding these gangers drugs and getting them riled up, feeding them weapons. I found manifests of the weapons they're sending to these gangers. The gangers that they're feeding this drug to, so that they can start some sort of gang war and then just flip it off. Prove to NCPD that they should be giving this drug to everybody. Solve gang violence, they'll say, I'm sure. What they won't tell you is it'll take away any free will anybody in Night City has. That's right, Seekers. Biotechnica is working on a drug to take away your free will and turn you into nothing more than a mindless slave or soldier for them. They're testing it on your friends. They're testing it on your neighbors. They might be testing it on you. Now, like I said, the story does get a little more interesting than just, corporations testing their drugs on the citizens of Night City. Evil as that is, it's pretty standard place here. which is why y'all need someone like me, so you know what's what. But like I said, this Michelle Jacquet, she put out a hit on one of these test subjects that got away. Turns out that test subject is making friends with the son of the person, Mary Gale, who's running the project on Lucidate. So Michelle Jacquet has put out a hit on this test subject, who we know was running with the son of one Mary Gale, the director of the Lucidate program. And even more interesting is Jacquet has the Gale family, her employee, direct report, under surveillance, 24-hour surveillance. So there's a leak in this Biotechnica ship. There's a lot of leaks in this ship, and, well, Seekers, if you know me, then you know I'm going to go see if I can't make those leaks flow a little faster. Stay safe and stay honest. This is the Truth Out.